Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to talk about something that is, well, it's pretty much the hidden engine behind some of the world's most successful companies. We're going to look past the flashy gadgets and slick new apps to uncover what really drives success: organizational innovation. So let me ask you, when I say the word innovation, what's the first thing that pops into your head? I'm guessing for a lot of you, it's the latest smartphone, a mind-blowing new piece of software, maybe even an electric car. And look, you're not wrong, but that's really only scratching the surface. Exactly. The truly game-changing innovations, the ones that create massive shifts, you often can't even see them. They aren't products you can hold in your hand. They're all about completely redesigning how a company actually works from the inside out. It's all about working smarter and organizing smarter. Okay, so here's our plan for the next few minutes. We'll start by talking about why innovation is so much more than just gadgets. Then we'll get into what it means to work smarter with process innovation and organize smarter through management innovation. And finally, we'll wrap up by looking at how you actually take a great idea and make it happen in the real world. So let's kick things off with a big idea. We need to shift our focus. We're going to stop looking at the what, the final product, and start looking at the how. We're talking about the nuts and bolts, the people, the tasks, the entire system that makes an organization tick. At its very core, organizational innovation is about upgrading a company's entire operating system. We're not talking about small tweaks here and there. We're talking about a fundamental rethink of how work gets done and how the entire organization functions. Now, this big concept really breaks down into two main types, and they're both super important. On one side, you've got process innovation. This is all about the nitty-gritty of how work gets done. On the other side, you have management innovation, which is about leadership, teamwork, and who gets to make the calls. And here's the key. These two are completely connected. You can't really change one without affecting the other. So let's start with the first one, process innovation. This is all about looking at any task, from preparing an order in a warehouse to admitting a patient in a hospital, and asking that one simple but powerful question: can we do this better? And when we say better, we don't just mean some vague feeling. Process innovation has very clear, measurable goals. Are you trying to lower costs, deliver a higher quality product, respond to your customers faster, shorten the time it takes from an order to delivery, or maybe operate in a more sustainable way? Every single change is aimed at a real, tangible improvement. So you've got your goals. How do you actually achieve them? Well, it turns out you have three main levers you can pull to redesign just about any process out there. Let's use a simple example, like a pizza place. First, you can change the input. That can mean using fresher ingredients or getting better data on delivery routes. Second, you can improve the activities, the work itself. Maybe you rearrange the kitchen so the oven is closer to the prep station. And third, you can upgrade the control. This is your planning and information flow, like a new system that sends an online order directly to the kitchen screen in seconds. Now, to figure out where to pull those levers, you need a map. And in the world of business, that map is called the internal value chain. It's just a way of visualizing every single step inside your company that, together, creates value for the customer. And seeing this map is crucial. Think of it like a set of dominoes. The value chain shows you that a delay in one area, say getting supplies delivered, is going to knock over the next domino and the next until it finally impacts the customer. You can't just fix one piece in isolation. You have to understand how the whole system works together. Okay, so we've got our processes running smoothly. We're officially working smarter. But that's only half the battle. Now we have to look at the other, equally important side of the coin: organizing smarter with management innovation. Because you can design the most efficient, absolutely brilliant, and streamlined process in the entire world. But if your management structure is rigid and stuck in the past, that brilliant process is going to fail. A new way of working almost always demands a new way of organizing and leading people. The two are completely tied together. And you can see some really powerful examples of this happening all over the place. Companies are moving away from old-school, top-down hierarchies. They're becoming more agile so they can adapt to change quickly. They're empowering their employees, giving them the authority to make decisions. It's all about creating an organization that has the speed and flexibility to support those new, smarter processes. All right, so we have smarter processes and smarter ways of organizing. But how do we actually make these ideas a reality? Because let's be real, this is often the hardest part of all. Well, first, we need to zoom our perspective out even further. We mapped the internal value chain inside the company, right? Now we have to look at the external one. This includes everyone from your raw material suppliers to your distributors, all the way to the final customer. Because in today's world, no company is an island. The biggest wins in efficiency, quality, and speed often come from improving how you work with your partners. Real innovation means looking beyond your own four walls and collaborating across the entire chain. And this brings us to a really critical point. Whether you're changing a workflow or redesigning a team, you are asking people to change their habits and their routines. This isn't just a technical challenge, it's a human one. At its core, innovation is change management. So to make that change actually stick, you need a plan. People need to understand why this change is so urgent. You got to build a team of champions who will support and drive the new way of doing things. And you have to paint a really clear, compelling picture of the future that you're all working towards. Which brings us to the single most important takeaway from all of this. If you remember one thing, let it be this. A brilliant idea is just the starting point. It's not enough. True, lasting success all comes down to execution. It's about making it happen. So as you move forward in your studies and into your careers, I want you to think beyond just new products. Look for those invisible opportunities. Ask yourself, how can we work smarter? How can we organize better? Because that's where you might just find your chance to make a real, lasting impact. Thanks for watching.